Okay, now we're standing at the Magma Railroad, which dates back to 1915. And this railroad was established to support the copper mines, which are to the east of us, on the other side, heading back up towards Superior and Globe, Miami area. It eventually connects to another rail spur that goes along the Gila River that travels all the way up to the Hayden smelter area, where there's a lot of copper mining, copper ore and smelting going on. Right now this railroad track is not being used, at least this part of it is not being used, but it traverses the entire Superstition Vistas land development area and has established since 1915 a significant footprint, if you will, across the land that needs to be developed here someday. So this is a very important constraint and consideration for the State Land Department, for anybody who might want to bid on the state land, to consider buying it, to develop it, because the owners of the railroad track here are currently the Resolution Copper Company, and they don't want to sell it. They want to preserve this railway, this right-of-way as a railroad in order to potentially make connections for their products with the Union Pacific Railroad, which is probably about maybe 20 miles to the west of us here. This railroad track actually connects with an active railroad track owned by the Union Pacific Railroad Company, and that goes coast to coast. It's an active freight railway. So the reason why we're stopping here to show you this is it's a significant constraint on future land use. So they probably aren't going to build houses here. Nobody's going to want to live next to an active railroad track where there's train noises all the time. So more than likely, this corridor up and down close to the railroad throughout the Superstition Vistas will be designated as industrial, which is good because we do need to have industry and jobs for people to come to. But most likely there's going to be very little residential anywhere near the railroad track on both sides of it. So that's about it for this spot. Do you have any questions, Chica and Gregoria, about the significance of a railroad line in the middle of a development project?
I don't think so. It will help the housing project, but it might help industries because transportation is like one of the most important thing on the chart. So it might help transportation, but I don't know because it looks really old. They might have to replace the whole railroad.
Oh yeah, it's they probably couldn't start using it right now. It looks like it's deteriorated quite a bit. But the right-of-way is the most important thing. They've already established a presence here. They own the land, and the Union Pacific Resolution Copper Company owns it, so they've got a good thing going.
What's the reason? Why did they shut it down?
But they're not trying to ship their copper products to the Union Pacific Railroad line now. I guess they're hauling them off by truck. They've connected with another railroad line someplace else.
It's only used for transporting materials, not like passenger trains.
It's not used at all now.
Yeah, it's not active now, but it used to be used for the mines, to support the mines. So everything that the mines would need to construct a mine, heavy equipment that you can load on a railroad car, ores, the materials, anything they wanted to haul back and forth to a mine. Maybe even workers. I don't know that they ever haul workers here. It's never, to my knowledge, been used as a passenger railroad for the general public. Another thing I was thinking about with regard to a railroad is that it is a very cost-effective way of transporting goods. The CSX Railroad Company has ads out right now. If you believe what they're saying, they are hauling, they say 400 tons and it takes 1 gallon of diesel fuel, or the kind of fuel they burn in a railroad train to haul 400 tons of goods or materials per mile. So 400 tons of stuff could be hauled with 1 gallon per mile. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I say that right?
400 ton or
You can
1
haul 400
gallon.
tons of freight by burning 1 gallon of diesel gas per mile. So that it seems cost effective if you believe what they're saying. You know, I haven't verified those statistics. It's an ad, but freight costs are known to be much cheaper than truck costs, for example. Any other questions or thoughts about this before we move on?
Why doesn't the company just replace it and start using it?
Well, they don't have an economic need to right now. The Resolution Copper Company is still trying to get all the land rights. They're in the midst of a big squabble with the federal government and environmental activists. Even the town of Superior is against them now on land exchange policies and who's going to benefit the most. And what are we going to get out of it? What's in it for me? Those are questions and issues that are being negotiated right now with U.S. Congress for the Resolution Copper Mine that they want to put in outside of Superior. And until that gets resolved, the project is on hold.
So if it's not working, then what's the point of those at the road?
They were there before, probably.
They can remove it. It's not working.
They can remove
Shiga
that
is
also.
saying, well, why do we have these railroad crossing, gates or signals to warn people not to go across the railroad, who are driving on the road when there's
When
no
it's
trains
not working.
coming. They apparently were using this once upon a time when they put in those signals. I don't know what the date is for those signals, but maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago they had trains coming in here. Not right now.
Yeah, that's